Hello, I'm Juan Camilo Villegas, real estate agent.
And I'm Laura Osorio, an attorney.
The best attorney, actually. Okay, so Laura, there are many questions from clients that are buying real estate here, and they are not familiar with the process, and sometimes they want to have as a similar process as they can as the US process, but honestly, it's not possible. It's
Never.
so hard. We try hard to make it alike, but it's not even close. And one of those subjects, which is
The price.
the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, negotiating.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, first of all, we have no MLS, so let's talk about a little bit about that.
Okay.
We have no MLS in Colombia in the way that is as it is in the US. I mean, there is no record of the property.
No.
There is no record how much they have paid, the seller has paid for the property. There
There's
is no record.
exclusivity.
There is no exclusivity. There is no nothing. So that's why you can go online and see the same property listed for many agents,
Yes.
different prices, and different information, actually.
Yeah.
Even though there is a kind of MLS in Medellin, it's a small one. We have a group of real estate agents here in Colombia, like as an association called La Lonja, and La Lonja has an MLS, which is a small group from La Lonja that we are trying to build it. I'm a part of it, but still, there are not as much information as you can find there. It's an agreement among 60 agencies, like we have an agreement that only one of us can have the listing. So if you go to that website, you may have only one agent with one listing, and the information is for all of us. So it's a little bit more formal, even though the process is complicated.
Yeah.
But it basically is try
That is
to
what it
work
is.
with one agent
Yeah.
or at least two, try to see what they have. If it's a very well-connected agent, he might be able to show you all the listings that you're looking for and fitting your needs. But what do you refer about the price exactly?
Well, to the price, a lot of sellers will try to avoid the capital gain tax, saying that it is no issue whatsoever to sign for a lower price to avoid paying more taxes or to record it to the same amount that the seller acquired. Obviously, it is no issue for the seller, but it is a huge issue for the buyer and to the foreigner that is trying to invest in the country.
Okay, because the funds that you're bringing into the country, you have to show how did you spend them.
Well, yeah, it's a whole road. So first of all, the whole foreign investment legal process needs to comply with the initial requirement that 100% of the funds that are going to be designated for an investment concept needs to match exactly every single penny the registration with the deed. So if there is any misinformation there or like some amount that was not reported or 100% of the funds were not reported with central bank, then you can be fined with the superintendency.
I see. And there are some costs involved in the purchase as a seller and as a buyer.
Yeah, there is plenty actually. There is notary fees, registry fees. There is retención de la fuente. That's withholding tax.
And the state's tax, the rentas.
Yeah, rentas. There is property tax that the seller needs to pay, and the other party needs to return the rest of the amount that was paid for the rest of the year. There is HOA fees and legal fees.
The legal fees and the transferring fees.
Well, yeah.
Also. Okay. So then there is a financial transfer tax here.
Yes, it's called 4 por mil.
4 por mil, which is 4 by 1,000. It's 4
Yeah,
pesos by 1,000.
it's 4.004 percent
Yes.
on any transfer that you make.
Okay. So that is very common in between locals that when they're selling a property and buying a new one, they ask their buyers to transfer to their sellers to avoid to pay that, and that's perfectly legal.
Yes, 100%. So the seller basically just needs to inform whoever person is they want that transfer goes to, because as there is a quatrepomi, that's basically a very insane tax that exists in Colombia. That if you can have the way to avoid it, it's like it does not mean that you're evading taxes.
Yeah.
It does not mean that. It simply means that just because you're receiving not directly to your account funds that are going to be immediately transferred to a third party, you're avoiding more than 3 million just for a tax that it's basically insane in Colombia. So the seller usually, and it's extremely common, that if the seller has someone else's to pay a loan,
or debt,
or commission fees, or even if he's buying another property, can go to the seller's account. So there is absolutely no issue there of risking the funds or anything, because it can go under contract. There is absolutely no illegal or risky way to proceed, because what has to be justified is the price. So you're not transferring more than was agreed initially, and there is like no way whatsoever that the seller is going to say in the future, "Oh, you did not pay me because that funds were to a third-party account that the seller instructed." So it's not going to happen.
And there is another thing that worries a lot my clients is the fact that they are transferring or paying directly to the sellers. Because especially in the US, they're familiar with the escrow or the lawyers, like in the middle, a third party that holds the money in the middle. It won't happen here.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to tell you that it won't happen here. Sellers wants to receive the down payment and sign the contract. Even though, which is the safety there, there's a clause in the contract.
Yeah. I mean, the whole real estate process works entirely different from the United States. There is no escrow. There is simply no. The only exceptions, it's with projects, with like future construction that you're not even signing a deed in 3 or 4 years in the future. So that's like the only exception that you can get to sign with an escrow.
Mm-hmm.
But with use or lot real estate sales, there's no escrow.
There is no escrow, so the way to be safe is making the right due diligence with the right lawyer, and working with the right agent who show you real properties for sale without any issues, or issues that he knows in advance and they can avoid surprises.
Yeah.
Do the right due diligence again, and right when everything is done, then you sign the contract, which has a penalty clause, and you can pay the down payment.
Yeah, so basically, even if it's not with me, the main step is the study of titles, that you can guarantee that whatever you're buying or to whoever you're buying, it's clean and it's okay. So yes, you do need an attorney that is specialized in that subject to basically clarify everything prior signing any contract, and that you would hold like the bigger amount until the closing, that you do not proceed with any transfer of funds until you are once your attorney can instruct you that everything is okay, that it's okay to sign, and that you're proceeding with the closing, that is after all the final step in real estate in Colombia.
Okay, so this is basically the way. It's a little bit the expenses. So summarizing what we have spoken before, there is a buyer's cost, which is about 1.7% of the purchase price. The price has to be registered at the price of the negotiation, the purchase price.
Yes.
Finally, that is where it's really a risk to register the property below.
Yeah.
It is possible to pay to a third person if it's authorized by the seller in the contract or in addendum or whatever written way you find out. And then no problem with that. And there is a clause of penalty if the sellers regrets or doesn't complain or comply. Thank you for correcting me. All the paperwork, then there is a penalty that they have to refund you all the money and
an interest rate because they didn't comply.
As a real estate agent, I have to tell you, in Colombia, the buyers, even locals or foreigners, are in a weaker position because they're given money and they have only a contract.
Yeah.
Okay. This is unfortunately the way the businesses happen here, but that's why you only sign when everything it's clear and it's okay. And it's a really committed seller. And the good news is, as a Colombians, we are very committed with the contract when it's signed.
Yes, and separately with regarding the price, it also became a law that it's illegal to sign for a different price than the real price. So if you agreed $100,000, then you need to sign and close for $100,000. Even if the seller says so, that it's okay, no, it's not. Even if another attorney said so, no, it's not. So it's illegal. It's not simply that it's not possible or that you cannot do it. It's legal. It's by law that you need to sign for the real price.
Yeah, so again, any question, any comment, leave it down below. Contact us by email, WhatsApp. You're going to find it in the comments. And we are here for you to help you.